Now, with every vocab question, we're not supposed to just pick the answer that best defines the word that we normally use it. We're supposed to use the context. So in this case, I'm still going to follow the QLC method, read the question, get the word, go to the line references, and try to see what I would say in place of that word. So let's take a look here. I'm going to read the paragraph. I'm going to hope that something about this kind of clues me into what they mean. In a recent study, Stanford political economist Neil Malhotra and 2 of his graduate students examined every study since 2002 that was funded by a competitive grants program called TESS, Time-Sharing Experiments for the Social Sciences. TESS allows scientists to order up internet-based surveys of a representative sample for U.S. adults to test a particular hypothesis. For example, whether voters tend to favor legislators who boast of bringing federal dollars to their districts over those who tout a focus on policy matters. This is a lot of blah, 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 sciencey stuff here, but this word allows, I don't know, it doesn't seem like it's being used in that weird of a way. Now, normally when I do these, I like to find some other word in the sentence that clues me into what they're trying to say here, but I don't really have that. To me, my guess of what they're saying is pretty straightforward. They're saying something like, let's, as in TESS lets scientists order up some internet-based surveys. So I changed the wording a little bit, but I don't know. It seems like that's what it means. So, enables. Now, I know that there's a lot of tempting other words here, like grants, but if we put grants in, it doesn't quite match up the same way. So this is a good example where if you treat it as a blank and you just fill in the blank with the choices, it starts to sound weird with some of these other choices, right? TESS grants scientists to order up internet-based surveys. So I'm allowed to change the wording slightly when I come up with my guess because I'm not actually trying to plug up the sentence with a new word. I'm just trying to capture the meaning so I can compare it. But once I've found a choice I like, I do need to make sure that that choice makes sense in that blank, as if I could swap the two words out no problem. And grants wouldn't do that here. The to is going to cause a problem. It tolerates scientists to order up? No. Again, the to sounds weird, but even the word tolerate doesn't sound right. I mean, it's a program. Programs don't have tolerance. That's kind of weird. And admits, it sounds like that's kind of negative, like you're giving into something. So that doesn't really fit here either. Enables is kind of just what the word allows means. I think that this is a pretty standard vocab question where there isn't really a lot of tricks. It's just that the other words maybe seem too similar. And what we really want to do is just make sure when we plug them in, we pick the word that our instincts tell us is right here. So normally I'm afraid of my instincts, but by forcing myself to ignore the choices at first and come up with my own guess, that's my way of preventing my instincts from running amok. But once we've kind of prevented that mistake, then, well, we've got nothing else to fall back on here. So we do need to trust our instincts at the end. It's kind of confusing, but normally we have more trap answers. So this process makes more sense. Here it ends up not really mattering. I think this is the choice that most of us would have picked if we just kind of went through this our own way. But we use the process on the easy ones so that we're ready for it when we have the hard ones. That's kind of why I'm a stickler for those things.